It's Sunday the 25th of April in London and it's a gorgeous day. Look at that. Beautiful blue skies, sun shining, and the garden's bursting into life now after the unpleasant winter we had. So where are we with the chilli update? Here we are. Right, so what we got here is we have got the second wave of chilies. So these are all the seedlings I planted out in the second wave. I potted them all up last week into 1 litre pots and they're all coming on beautifully. So bear in mind this isn't the main crop, this is a secondary crop. They're really really coming well. Still using the light and following just the basic regime. So let's just have a look at a couple of the pretty plants. So this is that Peruvian purple again. Let me put it there, see if we can see it. Yeah, that's better, isn't it? This is a Peruvian purple again. Look at those colours, it's just delicious. And a really nice, thick purple leafage. These, I think, are the Prairie Fire. Yeah, let's make a little bit more room. Prairie Fire, already starting to flower. As you can see, it's going to be a nice, bushy chilli. So quite keen on that one. And then let's just pluck something nice and meaty out the middle. Here you go, Trinidad Scorpion. So this is one of the super hots. Just beautiful again. Look at this. It's a nice strong stem. Oh, a little bit dark there. It's a nice strong stem, and the leaves are really healthy, nice, thick, green and lush. So we're all good. Next moves for these is I'll be moving out the greenhouse, and I will be potting everything into my main planters probably next weekend, and then I shall be getting rid of my surplus stock. So we'll move on now and I'll take you up to see the main crop, which is in the greenhouse. Right, we're up in the greenhouse now. It is a blistering spring day in here. It's absolutely gorgeous, that whole thing when you walk into the greenhouse, and the kind of the smell and the heat and the humidity hit you, which is all good. So lots of things going on, but we'll just concentrate on the main event, which is the chilli. So as you can see here, I've got 3 trays of approximately sort of 20 to 25 in each. So these are the first generation. These are the ones that we planted out of seeds way back, I think it was the 10th of January or something like that. So this is the first crop. We've just seen the second crop, and we're all good. Lots of watering recently. It's quite hard to get the balance of watering right with some of these, because obviously some of them are, say, a very small plant like this and they don't require that much watering, whereas other plants are really bushy, well developed and thick and do need a lot more watering. So what I've done is I've basically, if you can see it from the side, I've laid them in with the larger plants, kind of the poblanos generally at the back, down to the mediums, which are kind of some of the super heavy hots and stuff, down to the smaller lightweights like that Peruvian purple that we looked at upstairs. This is some of the other Peruvian purples coming up, and some of the other smaller plants. Let's have a little check on the temperature. Yeah, we're kind of where we were upstairs, if you remember when we had them in the propagators. We're kind of just around the 80 Fahrenheit mark. Yeah, as I say, been a couple of hiccups with the watering, so some of the plants are taken well to it, some of them haven't, but they're all generally coming on nice. You can see we've got a few flowers, and that, I think, may be our first chilli of the year. Oh, what's that on? That's a sweet banana, so that's one I've not done before. So this is an incredibly mild one, but it will just be an interesting chilli to grow, a different shape. You can probably see there's quite a lot of baby fruits just developing after the flowers now. And again, the beautiful colours, just the colours, the feel and the texture. This is that's a Reaper. Look at that. Bloody hell, that's a Carolina Reaper, that is. They looked nothing like that last year, I tell you. Look at the beautiful colour. That's like a dinosaur skin. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So they're going to be good. I'll show you just a little bit of what I mean about the watering. So here we've got some of the classic signs of overwatering. These are these brown spots and blotches This is on a Trinidad scorpion, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that leaf off, because that's not going to get any better, unfortunately. So something else I'm looking at when I get around to do my main potting off is I'm going to look at reducing and stunting the growth of some of these. So one thing I noticed last year was some of my plants were really leggy. So I've got quite a bit of room in this greenhouse, as you can probably tell. So we've got some nice high ceilings, but what I was getting was generally I would get plants that if I had them in planters on the floor down here would probably reach up to here, and likewise if I was planting on here they'd be topping up and banging into the net. So that's a good maybe 3 foot tall. Now the problem is, while your plant's growing upwards, it's putting all that energy into the leaf structure, the stem, and just constantly climbing towards the light. What it's not doing is putting all the energy where you want it, which is into flowering and making your fruits, your chili fruits. So one of the ways to do that is to top these off. I haven't started this yet because I don't know which ones I'm going to put where yet, but what that will basically look like is if we take, say, this chili, and this is another Trinidad scorpion. As you can see, if you follow the stem, I've taken a lot of the earlier foliage off a while back, and then we've probably got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's probably about 15 leaves on this. Now if you follow the stem all the way up to the top, you'll see this little bit here. So these new growth, these lovely little leaves, this is all the new growth, and this is where all the energy is going at the moment. It's going all the way up here, it's going into here, and it's looking to make itself bigger and bigger and bigger. So the idea is, what you do is you cut these off, boom, and what that should do is that should force the plant to push all its energy outwards into its existing structure rather than trying to keep growing it upwards. So it's something I've not done before, and I'm a little bit nervous about because I don't want to stunt their growth. So I'm probably going to do it when I actually get around to it. I'll probably do like a test sample where I've clipped them off, and some others where I'll just let them grow wild, and that'll be an interesting experiment to see how we get on. Anyway, there we are. That's where we are with the older chilies. They're all looking good, very advanced now. So I think I did a rough head count, and I think it's just over 100, about 105 plants so far. I better stop now because that's quite a lot of chili plants. I'll probably be able to plant out 40 odd, I'm guessing. And the way I'll be planting them out, if you just look down here, I've got these, it's a bit dark, sorry. If you just look down here, I've got these little planting troughs. So I've got a number of these. That's just got some fuchsias in it at the moment. I'll be clearing that out and I'll do hanging baskets. But I will probably put 3 plants in each of those, and I think I've got about 20 troughs, so yeah, maybe 60 plants. Oh, sorry. Yeah, 60 plants or so. So that's the plan. Right, just quickly while I'm in the greenhouse, because I spent a bit of time in there on Friday and it was lovely. Show you what else is going on. I've grown my own tomatoes. They're all in the propagators this year. I've had a lot of seed failures this year in the propagator. I think we had a very cold kind of January, February, and a lot of seeds just didn't start off. And that's obviously borne out by the way I propagated the chilies to show you how to do it properly. But unfortunately, very few people have got room to do all of their seeds to that kind of standard. So here we go. I've got 3 different types of tom in there. Same again over here. I've got 4 different types of tomato plant, and I think there's 2 different types in there. So I should have a huge tomato crop. Again, they've not really come on as much as they usually do, but I think that's just down to the fact it's been such a cold kind of early 2001. As a backup plan, I've been a bit cheeky. I've been to the garden centre a couple of times, picked up a load of cheap tomatoes. I think these were about £2 each when I bought them, and I've potted them all up. So there's a variety here from Blue Diamond, and also B&Q, I think the other. Oh no, sorry. There's a local National Trust garden centre. So I've got some really interesting types here. So it's kind of beef tomatoes. Yeah, I've also got some nice yellows, some cherry tomatoes, some weird looking ones, and yeah, so what I've done with these is I potted these up during the week. They were in much smaller pots, so I put them into 1 litre pots, give them as much room to grow as I possibly can. I want them to have nice big root balls on them. So these will be my main crop, and obviously I'll put in my own tomatoes as and when they grow up. A few other bits. This is all stuff from hanging baskets. I think I've shown you this before, and I'll probably get round to the hanging baskets sometime this coming week, I hope. Just various bits and bobs that are all coming on nicely. These will all be planted in, and there's all different bits and pieces. And underneath here I've got what were plug plants, little baby ones I think I showed you before. Everything from the Bellias, begonias, Gymnasia, yeah, all kinds of good stuff, which will be the backbone for my hanging baskets. And then just some wonderful plants that I bought right at the beginning of the season for like a £5 each that I've not played with before. You can see how big these are. These were just little teeny weeny buggers, and they've really grown up on this. I couldn't even say what that is. Dicentra spectabilis. This is just lovely. I mean, look at the flowers on that. So I can't wait to get that planted out. I've got a few other bits and pieces underneath. Some bulbs, some I think it's Coriolis. Got given some cut-ins of some climbing roses. So yeah, that's pretty much it from the greenhouse. Chilies are all looking good. And I might do something on the hanging baskets if I want to plant them just for fun. Yeah, okay, I think that's about it for this week. Have a lovely spring. Take care.